Hello and welcome to the presentation of the Integrated Project Mobile Development and Professional Practice IT. We are the Carpe Diem team and we were talking about React Native and hardware interaction, in this case the microphone. Let's start. Project analysis. The project will be shown in 6 parts. First, the introduction, resources, risk assessment, demonstration of the prototype, advantage and disadvantage of this approach, and finally the conclusions. Resource requirements. For this project, we basically need hardware requirements, software requirements, network, and human talent. For hardware requirements, we need a computer, desktop, or laptop with an operating system like Windows or Mac. The software required is Visual Studio Code or a code editor, Expo, Install, React Native, and NPM. The network requirement is an internet connection and a browser like Firefox, Chrome, or Edge. Between the human talent, we will need basic knowledge of JavaScript, initialization of React Native projects in Expo, and knowledge and implementation of libraries with NPM. The project could be explained by this diagram. We have objectives for project, for professional practice in IT, and objectives for mobile development. We combine that objectives and match with our project objectives. After this, we create a plan of the project, we implement the plan, and we divide the plan with between tasks, schedules, and manage of resources. Risk assessment. Basically, we have 3 elements that could affect the performance and the development of our project. Those are data persistence, permissions, and the components. Data persistence, in this case, are the objects or the sound recorded. Means that they won't persist after being replaced by the next recording or finalize the app of server. That means that once we stop the server or we close the app, the files created won't be recoverable. And the permissions is refers to when we start the app, we need to allow the device record sounds in the dispositive or in the local or temporal memory. And the components, we don't have to forget, import the audio component from Expo AV library to ape.js file. Otherwise, the project won't be compiled successfully. Okay, we have the projects loaded. We are gonna test it scanning the QR code. We have mirroring our phone screen in this window. So let's start. We scan the code and wait that the project is building or is built, yeah. And we can see the terminal. Now it's running. Now it's running in our phone. So we can start the test. We can start doing a test recording. just pushing the start recording button. Let's start. Test 1. 1, 2, 3. Stop recording. And we can see a long address in the terminal window. And it's the same address that is shown in the phone screen. This is the address where the file is being stored. We can play the sound that we just recorded now by pushing the play sound button. Test 1. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. We can do a second test. Hello, hello, how are you? And we can play it again. Hello, hello, how are you? As you can see, the app works in this mode. The next test is in the APK mode. Thank you. As we saw in the video, the address where the file is stored appears on the terminal screen and in the phone screen as well. In this slide, we can see that the addresses are the same.
Okay, we have the app generated. Just install it in the phone. We can proceed to do a test now. So let's start. As we can see, we need to allow the permissions to record audio in the device. So we can choose allow. Test 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop the recording. And as we can see, the address where the file is stored. So we can play the sound now. Test 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. We can do a second test. Hello, how are you? And we can play the sound. Hello, how are you? Excellent. As we can see, our app works properly.
Okay, talking about the approach taken, this has advantage and disadvantage. Between the advantage, we can see that shows clearly how the components allow interaction with the hardware. That means that through the app, we could show how we can make recordings, voice recordings or sound recordings, and play that recordings in our phone. Another advantage is that libraries and components used are maintained by Expo. This means that the libraries and the components are always updated. If they have some bugs in the future, in the past, they could be resolved. That's not always happen with other libraries that are in the internet because they are not updated. Sometimes they don't work properly after a while. So this is an advantage. And another advantage is that the implementation and usage is relatively easy. It's easy because Expo always shows in their docs the correct way to use these libraries, what methods the libraries have, what methods needs to be called in what moment. So it's very complete and it's very useful. Between the disadvantage, well, the main is that for reaching a fully functionality, these libraries used in the project needs to be combined with other libraries. For example, to avoid or to allow persistence data, we need to combine this library, for example, with a file system, expo file system, and that could allow us to store the file created locally or upload the file to a server and then download to device. But that is a bigger project that could be developed with more time and knowledge. Conclusions. As a conclusion, we could say that the project was an interesting activity to measure our teamwork capabilities in a project. This means that as a team, we were able to coordinate our ideas and assemble our knowledge. The plan was coordinated with the team to achieve the final objective and demonstrate the functionality in the app. This means that we were able to generate a plan, discuss the best strategies to reach the planned objectives, and work together. Continuing with the conclusions, we could say that the objectives of the project were accomplished. We coordinate and plan on our activities and generate a prototype that shows the interaction required. This means that as a team, we were able to work together and research how to reach this functionality, in this case with the microphone, and React Native, and show this functionality in an app. Another conclusion is that we faced some issues to decide which could be the best approach to take in the project, but we sorted out, giving our plan some flexibility and focusing on the project objective. We faced some issues, especially in the time when we were deciding what kind of approach we must take to this project. So in that part we took more time than the scheduled before, but our plan was flexible enough to resist this kind of issues in all the process. Thank you.